Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Lewis Speaks 2023, and today I want to talk to you all about the trouble with being a good man. You know, my definition of a good man is a man who is caring, kind, considerate, thoughtful, invested, a man who is reliable, also a man who takes responsibility for his choices and also accountability for his mistakes. That's my definition of a good man. Now, the trouble with being a good man in this society today is that, for one, oftentimes you are the unfortunate beneficiary of doubt, scrutiny, and skepticism. Nobody believes that you're good. In fact, they think you're too good to be true. And so what ends up happening is that they don't believe in you. And in the absence of belief, I realized that the truth can disappear. I'll say that again. In the absence of belief, the truth can disappear. And so if you don't believe that there are good men in the world, what ends up happening is that you operate from that lens. You know, they have a saying, perception is reality. If you perceive that there are no good men around, it's going to influence your reality and how you move in the world. And so often good men are seen as too good to be true. People are wary of them. Oh, this must be too good to be true. Can't trust it. So often we are the beneficiaries of mistrust. We are the beneficiaries of doubt. And that grieves our goodness. It grieves our goodness and it causes it to eventually disappear. You know? So that's one reason why, it's difficult to be a good man in this day and age. I think also when you are a good man, you're oftentimes, you're treated poorly. People take you for granted. People use you and abuse you when you are a good, nice, kind man. People always take you for granted. They don't value you. They feel like, oh, this person is good. They're gonna always be around. So they take you for granted. You are the recipient of emotional abuse, and it's unfortunate. It really is. You find yourself always having to protect yourself from the abuse of other people because you're good. I think also the trouble with being a good man is that you often are the beneficiary of misdirected anger and the transference of other people. A lot of people, I've learned, they have unresolved issues with men. There is a lot of internalized misandry among certain communities, among men, and also a lot of misandry in general among women. Women are angry at men. They've suffered so much abuse at the hands of wounded men, broken men. And so they generalize across the board that all men are trash, all men are no good. And so when you come along, you oftentimes are expected to be, I would say, the savior. You're expected to be the answer to every man that hurt them. You're expected to undo all the pain that they experience at the hands of these broken men. There's a lot of misdirected anger, as I mentioned earlier, and transference that exists in relationships, because oftentimes when you're a good man who makes a mistake, hypothetically speaking, you make a mistake, unfortunately you get grouped in with all those other men that hurt this person. You cannot be seen based on your own merit or afforded grace based on your own merit. You instantly become that no good man that hurt me in the past. You're just like my daddy. You're just like that, that guy that I was dating in the past, it's like you're constantly reminiscent of somebody else and are expected to pay for the mistakes of somebody else. You know? You're always expected to carry the burden. You're expected to be that Jesus Christ that dies at the stake. And even when you do die at the stake, you're still talked about badly. Once you do die at the stake, you do everything in your power to prove to these people that you're not like the rest, only to still be treated like you are. And it's unfair, it's unfortunate, but this is why there are no good men left. We realize as good men that the bad men are getting the loyalty, they're getting the love, they're getting everything. They have a saying, the nice guy finishes last. And that's true. When you're a nice guy and you're trying your best to be good and you're trying your best to be considerate and thoughtful and trying to take into account that people have been in traumatic situations, you oftentimes become the punching bag. You become the punching bag. You become the one that is abused. And so you say to yourself over time, nah, I'll be the bad man. Because the bad man, he gets everything. He gets it all. So my thing is this, what is the motivation in staying a good man if all you tend to get is disrespect, all you tend to get is transference, all you tend to get is comparisons to the last dude that hurt these people? It's not motivating to keep on being good. So my thing is this, for all the good men out there, you're definitely not alone. I just want to make this video to let you know that you are not alone, that we live in a world that does not respect men like they once did. And due to the abuses of some broken men, unfortunately, we as good men have a difficult road. We have a very difficult road, and we're often expected, as I mentioned earlier, to undo all these faulty beliefs that our society has about men. We have to bear that burden, and it's not fair. It's not fair that we're expected to pay for the mistakes and the sins of our fathers, the sins of our uncles, the sins of our grandfathers. It's not fair, And so my thing is this, if people don't believe that you're good, then you have to move on. You have to know that you are a good man and you have nothing to prove to anyone. At the end of the day, you have to try your best to continue to be who you know is right. You have to continue on, because this world is just this world will have you coming and going. Let me just say that it'll have you coming and going. There's always going to be someone who doubts you. There's always going to be someone who feels as though you're not being genuine or sincere. To hell with them. You just got to keep on doing you. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, because at the end of the day, all you have, and this is what I have to know, all you have is God and yourself. That's it. There are no bunk beds and caskets. And so all you have at the end of your life is just God and you. So I say this, continue to be a good man, continue to let your light shine. Whoever gravitates and leans in towards your light, they're the ones who are meant for you, and they're going to benefit tremendously. All the ones who want to be skeptical, who want to try to murder you with scrutiny, that's their issue. That's their issue. Let them stay locked in their own confusion. Let them stay locked in their own chaos. That's their issue. It's very difficult, and I know it's very difficult to maintain your goodness in a world that constantly tries to deny the existence of it. But you have to fight to the death to maintain your goodness. You have to be true to you. And the thing about it is this: I've learned something. In life, your love will be tested. Like that song by the Bee Gees, How Deep Is Your Love? How deep is your love? Life will constantly ask you this question every single day. How deep is your love? How genuine is your goodness? Life will test and see. And you have to make sure that you pass the test by being, for one, a man of integrity. And that's another characteristic of a good man. Good men have integrity. They offer consistency. Good men, you can set your watch to them. You can rely on them. And so your integrity will be tested as a good man. And you have to always make sure that you stay good. Stay good. And that requires you to also be in alignment and be in company with other good men and other people that believe in your goodness. Don't let other people's scrutiny and skepticism rob you of your goodness. You know you are good. You don't got to prove yourself. Really. Confidence, true confidence, does not scream. It whispers. It doesn't have to scream. You don't have to announce your goodness. You don't have to announce and constantly try and prove. You don't have to. All you have to do is just continue to maintain and focus on maintaining your goodness. I say in this world, it's also hard to smile. The bravery of one smile. The bravery of one smile is necessary. It takes bravery to keep on smiling. You have to. I was watching that movie Precious, and at the end of the movie, she was walking down the street and she had a smile on her face. And that's how she defeated the world. By retaining her joy even in the face of tremendous adversity. She smiled. Despite every abuse she sustained. She's walking down that street, had her head held up high, and she smiled. The bravery of your smile is your weapon, especially as men. We have got to learn how to smile even in the storm. So I hope this video was helpful to all my men. This one is definitely for you. I hope that you definitely continue to let your light shine and your goodness grow. Don't let this world try to poison you, because it will continue to try and poison all your efforts. You are necessary. I just want to tell you that you matter. And I love you. This is Lewis Speaks, wishing everybody a wonderful, wonderful 2023. Peace, y'all.